It's the Olympics. It's Olympic time. Our guys and girls, I should say, are going over to Paris very, very soon. But tomorrow, I believe, is the first expedition or prelim game, whatever you want to call it, for Men's USA. It's tomorrow. And I want to know, who is your starting five. So before we go, in case you're not sure, I do have the roster here, right here. So out of these people, who is your starting five? I do not believe they announced the starting five yet for the men's USA national team. Who's your starting five? Jay, I'm gonna come to you first.
Yeah, so I think in a situation like this, it's definitely okay to not necessarily have a starting five that fits traditional positions, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
you're going to be playing teams from all over the world. And I don't know that positions is really going to matter as much. But so I'm going to start LeBron at the one. I think LeBron kind of facilitating the offense would be great. I'm going to have Steph as my other guard in there. So I got LeBron and Steph. And then I think Ant-Man. I want to start Ant. I know there's some talk about whether or not he should start or not, but I think Anthony Edwards needs to be in that lineup. So I'm going to start Ant. I'm going to start KD. And then to have a big man in the middle, I'm going to have Joel Embiid in the middle. So LeBron and Steph, KD and Ant-Man, and then Joel Embiid in the middle. So that would be my five to kick things off.
Interesting. Okay. All right. So no Drew Holiday for defense. No. Kawhi Leonard, I guess he's too hurt for you. No. He won't be available.
No. No Kawhi.
But K-Walk, who's your starting five?
Hey, that's my starting five. Just replay Jay's back. That's my starting five. But Jay maybe put him in different positions. But I had at point guard, I had Steph Curry at point guard. At the two, I have Anthony Edwards, Ant-Man. At the small forward, I got KD. At the power, I put LeBron at the power forward, and I put Joel Embiid as my center. I think that's the route you go. I think you mentioned defense. I think you don't have to worry about defense to start the game. You just got to worry about defense to end the game. So it's not necessarily how you start, it's how you finish. So you can bring Drew and those guys who actually want to play defense and somewhat can play defense.
Right.
But yeah, I'm going to go. I'm agree with Jay. Steph, Ant-Man, KD, LeBron, and Joel Embiid.
K-Walk, I think that was a little shot, by the way. I just realized that.
It was. I'm glad you picked that up.
It took me a minute.
I'm glad you picked that up.
It took me a minute to get it. Yeah. I was like, well, hold up. Was that a little shot? I got you.
Dang, I thought Britt was quicker than that.
No, I think I'm with you guys on this one. Look, I like AD, and I know Mikey here put AD there. Same thing with Kawhi. Is he going to be available as well? He's always hurt also. So will he be available? But no, I just think Joel's game is going to be better suited for this lineup. I feel like if
got two big men there. I'm sorry. Sticking out loud. I'm sorry.
Big men.
Yeah, he got Embiid.
Oh, he got Embiid and AD. I'm sorry. My bad, Mikey. Yeah. I didn't see that. So who the heck did he take out?
He took Ant-Man out.
Ant-Man out.
Oh, he took Ant-Man out.
Yeah.
Now you got me thinking. I don't know if is that gonna work, because you got AD, KD, and B. They're all big as heck. That's crowding. That's a lot of crowding in that post.
Especially with two guys who always hurt too.
So right. Curry handles the ball. Yeah, I don't know, but I think I like Jay's lineup as well. But I'm with you, K-Walk. I think I'm gonna just switch the point to Steph, because I think he can handle the ball well. Ant-Man, I think I'll put at the 2, and then LeBron, he's big enough. I'll put him at the 3. I mean, we'll see what happens. This is going to be an interesting situation. I know they have a tough situation to figure this out in camp, to see who meshes better with who. I've seen some of the highlights. They all playing pretty darn well, in my opinion. But K-Walk, I'm surprised you ain't put Bam in there. That's your guy.
Nah, I love Bam, but I'm a realist. Come on now, Britt. Don't. I love my guy, but where am I gonna put him over?
My final question with this is: will they win gold? I mean, they won gold. Did they win gold last time? I believe they won gold the last time. But they're not like the women's side. You know, the women's has won gold for so many consecutive years. Like, they're just unbeatable. The USA men's, they tend to get beat. and the playing field is getting a little bit more even when you look around the I guess the globe, I should say. I wanted to
Yeah.
say the country, but the globe, I should say. Especially with that French team, they got Wemby and Rudy Gobert. My goodness. So do you think they'll win gold? Anybody could take it.
I think it's tough, Britt, because one of the things that I think a lot of people don't realize is a lot of these other teams are actual teams that play together all the time. And they're not just coming together with a collection of talent and trying to figure it out in a couple weeks and then going and playing. So I think from that standpoint, they're at a little bit of a disadvantage. But I mean, when you look at this roster and the talent that from top to bottom, if they don't win gold, it's going to be a travesty, Britt. So I do think they come home with gold. I just don't think it might not be as easy as maybe some people think it's going to be. But I do think they will win gold. But they're going to be in some tough games. I don't think there's any question about that.
Yeah, and
Yeah, I go
if
ahead,
they play
Well,
anyway, I'm sorry, Britt. If they play
nope,
anyway
go
like
ahead.
they did against the team select, I think what AD had to block a last second shot or something like that to close out that game. And I mean, if they continue to play like that, they're going to be in trouble. They may come out with the bronze or maybe the silver, but like Jay said, I think Jay mentioned it exactly what I was going to say is that they can't take any games off. They just can't go in there thinking that these teams are going to roll over for them just because they're Steph Curry,
Right.
LeBron James, KD, and all those guys that we mentioned. So yeah, they got to come and play, and I think guys like Bam Adebayo and guys like Anthony Edwards are going to demand accountability, go out there and close it out because these guys
Right.
are competitors. I think they're the most competitive
Mhm.
guys out there. I'm not saying the other guys aren't competitive. I just think you're going to see these two guys are, in my opinion, the most competitive out there. Kawhi, just sit down and be quiet. I don't want to hear him. We probably won't hear him anyway, but but yeah, I think they really have to bring their A game without
Mhm.
question in order to bring home the goal.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous. Jay, I think you hit it right on the nose. The chemistry. How's the chemistry with this team? The guys overseas, they've been playing together for a very, very long time. And yes, Wemby may be over here over the course of the season, but a lot of guys he's been playing with or he's playing with for the Olympics, he has already probably been playing with prior to him coming to the NBA. So some of these guys very familiar with each other's game. They fit well. And then our game, back in the day when we were way more physical than everyone, that's not the way of the NBA anymore. It's more this finesse type of league that now matches that European style type of basketball game. So the Olympics is all those other countries are right on par with us now. So I am kind of happy that we did add Embiid. Hopefully he's healthy. That's the biggest thing. Hopefully he is healthy. He could play up to his full capabilities. But this is not going to be no easy run through to get to the goal. I'm going to say yes to the gold. I'm just not 100% sure about that. Definitely, they're going to at least get a silver. But of course, we want the gold, of course. But Tony, before we go to the next question, Tony said something, and I want to bring this to attention. They should have let Bronny on the team.
He's an alternate, I think.
They should have let Bronny on the team. Interesting. I don't know. Based off that first summer league, and we'll talk about that later. I don't know if he'll make it. Quick question. Tyrese Halliburton. I know we put Steph at the one, but he's a playmaker. He's a playmaker, long arms, could play defense somewhat, I guess. Yes, K Walk. That's why I said somewhat. I didn't say he could play good defense. I looked at your face. Would you consider putting him in that starting uh point guard position, or is it no? He has to come off the bench. Anybody could take it.
I wouldn't. I just think Steph has earned it.
Hmm.
Halliburton. I mean, yeah, I like his game too, Britt. I think he's proven himself to be a very good player, but I think that the shooting, the consistent shooting that Steph provides is just
Hmm.
something. I mean, and Halliburton's a good shooter too, but I mean, we're talking about the greatest shooter that ever lived. So for me, I don't think so, Britt. And I also think maybe just some of the chemistry between Steph and KD and even
Hmm.
LeBron. I just feel like that's probably the best way to start the game out.
Right.
And like K Walk mentioned earlier, you got a bunch of guys that you can bring in off the bench if things aren't going well or guys aren't playing well together.
What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree there. I mean, because when you look at it, it's again my age old saying is it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And I think that with Pop and those guys are going to realize, depending on how the game is going, they're going to do that mismatch thing. They're going to see, all right, who's our best defender? All right, who's our best, shot blocker? Who's their hot guy? Who can we put on him? Can we do a box and one type
Hmm.
deal? I think it's going to go with the flow of the game. But I think that once you start the game, you go with the big name guys, and I think these are the big name guys right here that we Jay and I mentioned as far as the start. I think you agreed to it as well, Britt, but. I think that you go with those guys to start it off and see how it goes, and then by the end, second quarter, third quarter, first half, second half, whatever it goes,
Right.
that's when you just mix and match for the most part, and sometimes the guys who close are more valuable than guys who start, in my opinion.
Right. No, I'm with you guys. It was just a thought that came into my head because I do like his playmaking abilities.
Yeah.
He is a little
Yeah,
turnover prone for me, a little turnover prone for me. But I love his playmaking abilities. I do think he is a decent shooter. He got a weird shot though. I don't know if it's just me, but his shot just
No,
comes
it
off.
looks different. It
But
definitely
but
looks different.
right. But like you said, K Walk, it goes in. But I think you guys are right. I think Steph earned it. That pure shooting, that if you need a shot, Steph is right there to bail you out if you need him to. Goes right along with everybody else. Final question with the USA men's, because this has been a big ordeal recently. For whatever reason, this has been a major ordeal. Joel Embiid choosing the USA over France, basically. I heard people say Cameroon. I didn't even know they had an Olympic team. Maybe they do. Excuse me, but I didn't know they had an Olympic team. But it seems like it's been a big deal for people right here in the States. Not even for people who live over in France, but right here in the States. They think that not everybody, but some think that he should have played for France, should have played for Cameroon. Again, I didn't know they had an Olympic team, and not for us. How do you feel about that? Anybody could take it.
go
Go
ahead,
ahead,
Jay.
Walk. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say Cameron. I didn't know they had one. I mean, had a team there. So yeah, I can see why if they do have a team, I can see why he chose US over them. But as far as France go, whoever is upset about him not choosing France not, over the US, it should be happy because he goes there.
Right.
It's might be over for the US. To be honest with you, looking at that spot, it might be over. But no, I don't have a problem with it, man. I mean, I'm glad he decided to. I mean, he has that ability to do it. He has that choice.
Hmm.
Obviously dual citizenship, that type deal, whatever, however that works. But
Right.
yeah, I mean, I'm glad he's deciding to who's going to want to. Maybe it's a French person that said that. I don't know if you know somebody personally who said that, Britt, but
Yeah.
I don't
Now
understand why you would get mad that he chose U.S. over France. But I'm all for it though.
Yeah.
it's been
Yeah.
going crazy and rampant on
Really?
Twitter. Why did he choose us and this, that, and the third? I don't get it.
Oh,
I'm
why
not
did he
sure
choose
if
us? Wow.
right. I'm not
Okay.
sure why people even think this way. I mean,
Well,
Joel Embiid has been here since he was about 16 years old. I think he went to high school here, played here for a very, very long time. Um, his family's here. His son was born here. I know his son is a U.S. citizen. He said it countless time that he wants to play where his son is a citizen at, where he's also a citizen at. He lives
right.
here now, and I just don't know why people feel the need to take authority over something that technically wasn't originally none of ours. If you think about it, then maybe none of us should be playing for Team USA. So to me, it just makes no sense. He has every right to play here. He pays his taxes. He pays
Oh,
income,
that's
property taxes, whatever else he needs to pay. So and why would you want this man 7 foot,
crazy.
280 pounds with his ability to play for any other country?
Yeah.
I don't want
With
to go
Wembyamba.
against that. Hmm?
With
Would you say
Wembyamba.
right?
With
Like I
Wembyamba.
just don't want to go against that, and to me, that's out of his mind. Tony in the comments said he played for Kansas. He did play for Kansas, but he also played high school ball here as well. Um, but Jay, what's your thoughts on this?
No, I agree. I mean, it's just people being like it's kind of on brand for just how people are today, right? Just
Mhm.
always interjecting their thoughts into things that don't concern them. Like, why would you care where he plays? It's his choice. He can play where he wants to play. So I don't understand it, Britt. I mean, if he's got dual citizenship and has the choice to play in either country, it's his decision. I mean, I don't really care. I would have cared a lot more had he chose France. Then maybe we'd have
Yeah, exactly. There you
about,
go. There you go.
I don't care.
Yeah,
I don't know why people care.
If he chose France and he's healthy enough to play to his full capabilities, I'm not sure if I'm picking the USA to win the gold. That's what I'll tell you right here, right now.
Happy he chose
so,
USA.
but because he chose us and a couple other players, and he's also not the first non-born U.S. citizen to play for the U.S. Olympics.
Right. It's happening.
Yeah, and I get the part too, Britt, that you mentioned about his son, right? Like if he's saying, I want to play for the country that my son was born, like that makes total sense. So
right.
Hey, Britt, can you do me a favor? I just want to add one bonus question to this. Can you do me a favor? Can you bring up the roster again? Can you just pose that up for us real quick? I just want to ask this question. Jay, I'll start with you. This comes down to we're down 1. And we need a shot to be made. Who takes this shot? Who takes this shot?
Now
Jay, I'll come to you.
That's a heck of a question. Man, down 1, need a game winner. For me, it really comes down to 2 people. I'm either going KD or Steph. I think those are going to be my best bet. So if I gotta pick one, K-Walk, I think I'm going Steph, man. I've seen KD miss too many game winners. I'm going Steph, man. If we need one shot at the end of the game, give the ball to Steph and let's see what he can do.
Brett, what say you?
I mean, the obvious choice, I guess, would be Steph, right? I mean, he's the best pure shooter in the daggone on the roster to me. So that's the obvious choice. But if I want to go outside the box, I'm not trying to be biased, so don't think I'm biased, y'all. Don't think I'm biased. But I might go with Joel to give you something, an easy bucket in a post, can do his footwork, play them little tricks that he always gets somebody, fake somebody left, go right. I wouldn't mind if Joel got that last shot as long as it's in the post and he goes up strong. But I mean, the ultimate player that most people, that even including myself, will say is going to be Steph Curry. No doubt about it.
All right. Hey, Britt, I gotta agree with you, ladies and gentlemen. I'll go with Joel Embiid. I'll get the ball down low, get him in the right spot because he can hit it on all 3 levels. He can get the 3, he can hit the mid range, and he can take it down low. So I'm going to agree with you here, Britt. I'm going to go with Joel Embiid as well.
Well, sorry, Britt. Sorry.
No,
the commenters agree with me. They got Steph. But they got Britt drinking on the job now. So I do love that.
Okay, I guess I am.
Yo, Tony, I'm about to have a problem with you now. I'm not drinking on a job. Yes, I'm taking Joel over D-Book any day. I just think Joel is the more not instant bucket, I should say, the more high percentage bucket, I should say. He's right there in the post. And he's going to be stronger than anybody else in that post. So D-Book, he's going to have to shoot it. Is he as consistent as Steph Curry shooting the ball? I know he got 70. Joel also got 70. So I don't know about that one. So let's see.
Tony's a funny dude.